I'm Swati Joshi. It's the day after the deadly explosion near Red Fort, which shook the entire national capital and the entire country as well. A total of 8 lives lost, 30 injured, and several unanswered questions. Explosives-laden I-20 car blew up at a traffic signal at 6:52 p.m. last evening. But what makes this attack more chilling is what investigators have now found. The man suspected to be inside that car has been identified as Dr. Umar Nabi from Pulwama. And sources are indicating that the Delhi strike, the Delhi blast, could have been a desperate suicide-style Fidayeen hit. After the Faridabad module was busted, the capital is on high alert along with other cities. Multiple agencies, the Special Cell, NIA, IB and FSL all working across Delhi, Haryana and Jammu Kashmir. The car blew up at a traffic signal at 6:52 p.m. last evening. But what makes this attack more chilling is what investigators have now found. The man suspected to be inside that car has been identified as Dr. Umar Nabi from Pulwama. And sources are indicating that the Delhi strike, the Delhi blast, could have been a desperate suicide-style Fidayeen hit. After the Faridabad module was busted, the capital is on high alert along with other cities. Multiple agencies, the Special Cell, NIA, IB and FSL all working across Delhi, Haryana and Jammu Kashmir to untangle the network of terror. Meanwhile, a day after the Red Fort blast, more explosives have been recovered from a rented house in Sector 56 in Faridabad. Addressing the nation's concerns, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the conspirators of the Delhi blast will be hunted down and punished. Listen.
इस घटना की जांच में जुटी सभी एजेंसियों के साथ, सभी महत्वपूर्ण लोगों के साथ संपर्क में था, विचार विमर्श चलता था। हमारी एजेंसियां इस षड्यंत्र की तह तक जाएगी। इसके पीछे के षड्यंत्रकारियों को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा। All those responsible will be brought to justice.
Umar Nabi, the man wasn't a terror foot soldier. He was a doctor by profession and he wasn't acting alone. Just hours before the Delhi blast, counter-terror agencies busted a highly organized network of educated, radicalized medical professionals, seizing nearly 3 tons of explosives along with assault rifles, chemicals, circuits and timers. FSL teams now indicate that the Delhi blast used an ANFO-type explosive mix. What is that? It's ammonium nitrate, fuel oil and detonators. The same combination behind some of the world's deadliest attacks. My colleague Hina brings you the faces of white-collar terror network unearthed by Jammu and Kashmir police and the possible link with Delhi blast.
A blast in the national capital, in the heart of old Delhi, has shocked the entire country. All possible angles are being probed, and because this blast, this explosion took place hours after we got information about the Faridabad terror module, the way it was busted, a possible link to that module is also under the scanner. Now, these faces are extremely important. These are the faces of white-collar terror. Now, look at Dr. Umar Nabi here. Now, he is the suspected suicide bomber. This is something that the agencies are looking at. We do not really know who was behind the wheels in that I-20 that was used in this explosion very close to Red Fort. We, have learned from sources that he could be the person in that particular car, Dr. Umar Nabi. He is the suspected suicide bomber. Now, who is he? Now, Dr. Adeel Ahmed Rathar, who was arrested from Saharanpur by J&K police in a joint operation, and also along with Dr. Muzammil Shaheen, who was arrested from Faridabad in that joint operation. All these 3 viewers worked at Government Medical College in Anantnag. So there is a link here. There was a white-collar terror ecosystem that has been unearthed by the J&K police, and all these 3 worked there. Now, 2 faces that you saw in the previous slide are seen here also. You've got Umar Nabi, suspected suicide bomber in the Delhi blast case, and Dr. Muzammil Shakil, who was arrested from Faridabad. By the way, two of his rented properties, led to a recovery of explosives, which were over 2,900 kgs. This recovery happened, and then we had the Delhi blast taking place. And then you have Dr. Shaheen Shahid, who was arrested from Faridabad as well. Lucknow-based doctor from Lucknow, who also, was working with Dr. Umar Nabi and Dr. Muzammil Shakil. All three, in fact, are employed at Al Falah Medical College in Faridabad. So there is a Faridabad link that has emerged between these three, and there is a J&K link that has now emerged, and this is something that the agencies are looking at. Was there any kind of a connection between what happened in the national capital, very close to Red Fort, and what happened in Faridabad?
All right, we have some breaking inputs coming in. Remember, we've been telling you about high-level meetings that the Home Minister Amit Shah is chairing. Amit Shah says we will hunt them down. That's the order, in fact, the Home Minister has given to the agencies, to the police force, to the officials, that the terrorists will be hunted down. So, Home Minister is warning to the conspirators of Delhi blast, hunt them down. That's the order that he has given to his officials. Will face full wrath of the agencies. A direct message to the conspirators, the perpetrators of Delhi blast. We have our reporters joining us in the broadcast with more details. Bhavtosh is joining us live from the incident site. Sahil Suhail from Pulwama and Adeel from Lucknow. Let me first go across to Bhavtosh. Bhavtosh, you are joining us from the incident site where the blast took place, and there are back-to-back meetings happening, high-level meetings. We're given to understand that the Home Minister has sent out a very stern message, and the order coming in right from the top is to the agencies is hunt the perpetrators down.
Yes, Swati, in fact, both the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, as well as the Home Minister, Amit Shah, has made it very clear that the perpetrators of this dastardly terror attack should be facing the sternest punishment and also should be hunted down. While the agencies have arrested at least 8 individuals who were involved in the smuggling of the explosives and bringing them very close to the capital, the main accused as far as the Delhi terror blast case is concerned, they have not yet been arrested. Few individuals have been detained in that case. So the investigation, as far as the investigation in the Delhi terror attack is concerned, 10/11 terror attack is concerned, the first terror attack that has happened in Delhi after Delhi High Court attack in 2011 is concerned, that has been handed over to the NIA. In fact, NIA officials are there in the canopy behind me. That's where the NIA officials have in fact taken their position. They are collecting the sample, understanding what all has happened here. It's now nearly 23 hours since the blast has taken place. So they will in fact scan this entire area, speak to the first respondents, speak to the witnesses if they are now medically fit. They will in fact speak to them and also gather all possible evidence. They will also take over the report from the bomb detection center of the NST. That initially that report has said that ammonia nitrate as well as detonators was used by the accused in this case, who was inside the car, that is Omar. So everything is being pieced together by several agencies, including the NIA, which is the prosecuting agency as far as this case is concerned.
All right, Bhavtosh, stay on with us. There's a Jammu Kashmir link, there's Faridabad link, all of that emerging to fore. It's being investigated as well. Let's go across to Sahil Suhail. Sahil Suhail, after the arrests, the agency is also zeroing down on the accomplices, talking to, interrogating family members as well.
Yes, exactly. Now Jammu and Kashmir police and central intelligence agencies in Kashmir Valley are basically looking for the primary and secondary contacts of prime suspect, that is Dr. Omar Nabi. He is in fact the suspected man behind the wheels of that car that blasted in Red Fort area of Old Delhi. Now security agencies are basically in fact picking up, detaining the suspects, including the family members of Dr. Omar have been picked up, including his two brothers, his in fact mother and his father. They were also detained for the purpose of collecting samples for the DNA profiling as well. But we are picking up from the sources that in the meeting that was chaired by LG Manoj Sinha, the Jammu and Kashmir police chief has been directed to in fact zero in on suspects and in fact look for the primary and secondary contacts of Dr. Umar Nabi. That's why we have seen in fact earlier today police basically arresting Dr. Sajjad Mullah, who was working in Delhi as a doctor and in fact is said to be in fact was in touch with Dr. Umar Nabi. So primarily at this point in time, security agencies in Jammu and Kashmir, particularly Jammu and Kashmir, is looking for the primary and secondary contacts of all three doctors, whether it is Dr. Adeel or Dr. Muzammil Shakil, who were earlier arrested in the case of Jaish Mohammed terror plot. They are looking for their contacts and their family members are being questioned. There are also directions for the security agencies, for particular in police.
It is now a terror attack investigation, according to reports, a Fidayeen terror attack investigation. And the man behind the wheels was Umar Nabi, whose family members, his primary and secondary contacts being interrogated, and some other individuals have been picked up from the valley as well. Let's also go across to Adeel. Adeel, Dr. Shaheen, the female doctor, according to reports, was given the task of heading the women's wing of the Jaish-e-Mohammed. There are reports that she was in touch with her Pakistani handler. She was given this responsibility by Masood Azhar's sister to recruit, to brainwash women in this wing of Jaish-e-Mohammed, and apparently using social media. And earlier you told us how the UP ATS along with the state police raided some localities in Lucknow. They also reached the residence of Dr. Shaheen.
Well, definitely, Swati, and I'm standing right outside the residence of Dr. Shaheen. And in fact, in the visuals, you can see that this is the particular residence of Dr. Shaheen, which was raided by UP ATS, the Lucknow police, and Jammu Kashmir police. So you can see the house number 121. This is the Qatari Bagh area of Lal Bagh in Lucknow. This is the place where Dr. Shaheen, her brother Dr. Pervez, and one more elder brother used to live, along with their family members. We also spoke to their parents. They say that they have not been in touch with Shaheen. In fact, they have not seen Dr. Shaheen for the past 1.5 years. But Jammu Kashmir police and ATS questioned the family members for more than an hour at this particular place. After that, they have left from this place. The family has, as of now, they have sealed their place. They are not talking to anyone as of now. The police is deployed in these particular areas. In fact, the local intelligence unit have also been deployed in this particular area. And what we are getting to understand is that Dr. Pervez is the brother of Dr. Shaheen, and earlier this morning his house was also raided by ATS in Maniao area of Lucknow.
All right, Adib, Bhavtosh and Suhail, stay on with us. Let me open this up. Let me also go across to the guests who are joining us on the broadcast. We have Ashok Kumar, former DGP, and Lieutenant General Asit Mistry, defense expert. I first want to go across to Ashok Kumar. Ashok Kumar ji, there are a lot of answers that are unanswered still. First, the explosives, the quantity of explosives, the kind of chemicals and arms and ammunition that was being gathered. How was that possible without anybody taking note of? Yes, later, of course, that entire module was busted. And then, you know, this has now become a terror attack investigation, a Fidayeen terror attack, in fact.
It's true, but, you know, ammonium nitrate is not one thing which is like RDX. RDX is pure and pure terror, used for terror purposes. Ammonium nitrate can be used for many purposes. Therefore, blaming security agencies on this thing, that how it was gathered, is not correct. I would say that. Secondly, you know, police and terrorists, police and criminal, it's a game of, you know, chor sipai. It's a game of one-upmanship. It is not always sure that you will get everything first every time. So police and security agencies have got the module. They have busted the module, which is a big thing. If they had not busted the module, it would have been, you know, I foresee it like this, maybe 10 cities, 20 cities at a time. That was the plan. The amount of explosive that we see here, it could have been much bigger thing. Now, in the frustration, now they know that name of Umar has come up in the investigation. Police knows it. Therefore, in this last minute attempt to do something at least, that's why it has been done. That is what I look at it.
Okay, I want to bring in Lieutenant General Mistry as well. Looking at the pattern and the sequence of events and all the information that has come to fore so far, do you also believe that this was an act of desperation when Dr. Umar Nabi got to know about the module being busted? He decided to blow himself up into smithereens, carry out the attack?
On the face of it, with the available evidence at the moment, right now the investigation is still in a very preliminary stage.
Yes.
We are not even 24 hours since the blast took place. But from basically, if you make common deductions based on common, sense logic, it does appear that once the main nodule, which had that 2,900 kgs of ammonium nitrate, was arrested by the police, was nabbed by the police. Similarly, a nodule was nabbed in Ahmedabad. Probably Dr. Umar panicked and he felt that before he could be traced and the police could reach him, let me do something. The second possible, clue as to how this could have been in a hurry, the so far reports suggest that there were no sharpnel, there were no nails or any other, additional damaging material that is invariably added to an IED to enhance its kill range. That was not found. Although it is premature, it is a little preliminary, but that is what has been indicated so far. So that also suggests that this could have been a little, kind of a preemptive action by Umar before he could be nabbed by the cops. But at the same time, one must appreciate the efforts of J&K police and Delhi police. There is an adage in the counter-terrorism business that the security forces have to succeed every time. The terrorists have to succeed only once. And this has been classically proved by yesterday's incident. While you nabbed the major module with 2,900 kgs of ammonium nitrate, similarly you nabbed another module which was active in Ahmedabad. This possibly one more sideshow probably was slightly below the radar and therefore, could not be nabbed.
Right. So you're saying this could have been far worse. This could have been far worse. And a major tragedy or a major terror attack or perhaps a spree of attacks that they were planning. Yes. We don't know the modus operandi or the agenda at the moment, but that has been averted, you're saying. Gentlemen, please stay on with us. As we continue to unravel every detail of the case, there are several unanswered questions emerging. My colleague Sagarika takes us through the big questions. Take a look.
And here are the questions that emerge as we delve deeper into the links with regards to the Delhi blast. Question number 1. The I-20 that was used in the Delhi blast, was it the missing link in the Faridabad raids? What is question number 2? Was the suicide attack plotted right after the crackdown in Faridabad? And then, is there a direct link between Dr. Umar and Dr. Adeel, who's part of the Faridabad module? Was the Delhi blast an act of desperation after the terror bust by our agencies? Did the alleged mind in this case, that is Dr. Umar, did he have more accomplices when he was in Delhi? Then where did the plotters procure all these explosives from? How did these plotters get commercially graded explosives? The other question that many are asking, how did such large quantities of explosives go undetected? And how did these plotters, these terror plotters, ferry explosives from one city to another city? And are there more terror suspects who are part of a larger module? These are the questions that we are asking.
Was there a larger module and these individuals were only a small part of that larger module and larger nexus? That's something that the investigating agencies are definitely going to find out. Let's go back to our reporter. Suhail continues to be with us from Pulwama and Adeel is joining us live from Lucknow. Suhail, there's a common link between all these doctors of terror. These are educated individuals. This looks like a group of highly radicalized individuals, medical professionals, and one of them, Dr. Shaheen, was even tasked with heading the women's wing of Jaish-e-Mohammed. That's what we are given to understand as per reports at the moment.
Well, indeed, this was highly educated group of doctors who, in fact, seems to have been, engaged by the Jaish top leadership to execute execute some of the terror plans across the country, and that's why we have in fact seen the arrests that Jammu and Kashmir police had made. And in fact yesterday we had reported that Jammu and Kashmir police is after Dr. Umar, who was as per the sources the kingpin of this Jaish terror module that was busted by Jammu and Kashmir police. So one, Dr. Adeel, he had passed out from Government Medical College Srinagar, and then he had started working at Government Medical College Anantnag. In the same Government Medical College Anantnag, Dr. Muzammil and in fact Dr. Omar had also worked. So this Government Medical College Anantnag is somewhere a common link between these doctors, and then before 3 years they had shifted out of Jammu and Kashmir and started working in Faridabad and Saharanpur. While Dr. in fact Adeel was working in a private hospital in Saharanpur, Dr. Muzammil Shakil and Dr. Umar started working with Al-Falai University in Faridabad. So Jammu and Kashmir police had started from investigating a poster that had appeared in Naugam area of Srinagar, and then there one of the in fact suspect was arrested. He is being in fact identified as Irfan Molvi, someone who had worked at Government Medical College Srinagar.
Yes.
So sources are telling us that he is the most radicalized person. He comes from Shupanya area, where Jaish has its roots back in 90s.
One thing is clear, these individuals could not have carried this out alone. There certainly are masterminds behind them, and they need to be unmasked. Stay on with us, Suhail. Let me quickly also go across to Adeel. Adeel, we were talking about the role of Dr. Shaheen, and we're also given to understand that she was in touch with some handlers in Pakistan. AK-47 was recovered from her possession, but that's not the only aspect which is shocking. Apparently, her vehicle was also being used to carry all the explosives.
Well, definitely, Swati, and see, this is what the investigation agencies are now trying to ascertain the fact that how she was linked and how she was recruited for this mega plan that they were planning inside the India, the mega terror plan that all the doctors were involved in this particular terror outfit group. And interestingly, Shaheen was not alone. In fact, there were several other doctors with her. In fact, now there's a complete trail of Shaheen, that how she first started studying from Lucknow, then she went to Allahabad, then she was posted in Kanpur, and then she came in touch with Dr. Adeel, who used to live in Saharanpur. In fact, when the ATS raided the place of Dr. Parvez in Madiyao area, they recovered a vehicle was recovered outside the residence of Dr. Parvez, which has the registration number of Saharanpur.
Yes, so the action on ground is intensifying. Adeel, stay on with us. I want to quickly go across to Ashok Kumar. Mr. Kumar, you know, this has not happened for the first time that a individual who is educated, comes from a decent background, has been linked to a terror attack or a terror network. But largely, the narrative has always been that these recruiters or masterminds or handlers often give this task to people who come from humble backgrounds, are gullible. But that narrative seems to be changing now. What could be the modus operandi?
See, radicalization is not limited only to poor classes. We have seen earlier also, we know Hadley case, and we know other cases also. There have been many cases when highly educated engineers like semi accused people, they were all engineers, most of them. So normally it is the like Kasab, poor class people, but highly educated people are also radicalized, and they rather are more deadly because they are expert in digital handling, and they radicalize other people also very easily. So these people have been earlier also there, but now all of them are doctors. This is quite surprising. Probably doctors have been arrested for the first time, but it is overall it is not for the first time that high class white collared people are also part of terror module.
Absolutely. Lieutenant General Asit Mistry, there are a lot of concerns and a lot of questions that are being asked now. What were the possible targets? What was their plan? And perhaps during the course of interrogation and the investigation, that would come out. But do you believe that this also is a big signal to the kind of pattern that we are witnessing here unfold?
Yes, it definitely indicates that there is a big pattern. And some of the salient features of this pattern is, most of them originate from South Kashmir, where radicalization is much more than North Kashmir. So it's easy to pick up. Second, it's very critical for them to pick up these white-collar kind of candidates, as you refer to them, because firstly, it's very easy for these people to move across the nation because of the kind of qualifications they have and the likely jobs that they can carry out. More so when you pick up doctors as candidates, doctors very commonly evoke a lot of trust.
Yes.
So therefore, they are more likely to remain under the radar. And, can remain, as sleepers for a long time. The next issue is, very carefully, I think they have cultivated an entire network of essentially locals. They have tried to distance the Pakistan linkage in a very deliberate manner.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So that they can avoid the kind of, response that Pahalgam had. In Pahalgam, it was very clearly evident that 3 Pakistanis.
Yes, it had Pakistan footprints all over. But even in this case, like you said, there is a deliberate ploy to distance the entire pattern and group from Pakistan. But ultimately, like we've been discussing, these are not the only individuals to carry out this on their own. There definitely are perpetrators and masterminds, and that will be revealed during the interrogation and the investigation. Gentlemen, stay on with us. We're taking a very quick break on the broadcast. We'll be back with more updates and developments on the other side.